Following a raucous night at the Cove Tavern, while there was much shouting from the Salcombe contingent, their hearing is not what it used to be. The fleet awoke to skies greyer than the average solo sailor's thatch. The forecast was promising some breeze in the late afternoon, but with a time limit of no race starting after 3 p.m, optimism for a good blow was low. 47 helms tallied and set off for the race arena, rigs on full power, and heads into wind mode. Race 4. The wind was from the west at around 8 to 10 knots, light rain covering the course and providing the perfect reason for cameramen to stay at home. The line was set square and the fleet spread evenly along its length, clean start albeit under a black flag. The left once again paid, with Craig Williamson rounding first from Shane McCarthy second, Ian Hopwood and Fergus Barnum. Grandmaster John Webster had got his act together to round fifth from Mark Lee. Pete Mitchell was in the top 10 with Tim Law, who had jetted in from the States, such is the allure of the national solo. The fleet completed the 2 reaching legs with no particular dramas and headed back to the top mark. Williamson continued to assert, and with the 37 to try and discard, he needed to. Barnum was finding his way around the aramid of control systems and the intricacies of the solo to get him up to second, which he held to the finish following the windward-leeward lap. Pete Mitchell and Tim Law made late gains onto the downwind to finish third and fourth, with Nick Bonner fifth. Event leader Mike Sims would record a 15th, and this opened the door for Jack Hopkins, whose 6th moved him closer overall. Race 5. Nick Bonner was over early, but this did not stop him from continuing to race. With a black flag in place, there was no point in doing turns or going back. Barnum, Ian McGregor and Hopkins were the most left of the fleet, with Sims electing to tack back towards the middle of the course. Andrew Wild timed his port approach perfectly to round ahead of Dave Mitchell and the luckless Bonner. Pete Mitchell and Mark Lee completed the top 5. Barnum, Law and Hopkins were next around, with Sims in the teens. PRO Brian Drake had reverted to the windward-leeward course, now favoured by the majority when the breeze is below 6 to 7 knots, and this presented plenty of tactical options. The twin leeward marks also reduced the shouting that a single leeward mark seemed to attract. Wild extended over the next lap, and with Barnum a solid second, it looked a done deal, until Wild elected to do a third lap and headed off into the cloud base, taking Barnum with him. Dave Mitchell was the first to spot the finish in place and also the ability to count to 2, so he took the win from Barnum, who was quickest to react to the mistake. Sims collected third, which just about sewed the championship up with Law and Hopkins. Wild was unlucky. The generous blue flag that would normally fly proudly from the incredibly stable platform of the committee boat was stuck to its post, sodden by the now incessant rainfall. He salvaged a 14th, which he could probably sell in the bar, but would do nothing to raise his mood. Race 6. So, going into the final race of the championship was Mike Sims, who was in control. Needing only to finish in the top 6 if Hopkins won the race, he made sure of a clean start and just kept an eye on his closest rival. Ian Hopwood, the street fighter who never knows when to stay down, made the first beat his bitch and rounded first from Tim Law and Pete Mitchell, who was looking at damage control after counting 22 and 20 on day 1. Dave Mitchell and Ian McGregor filled the top 5. Hopwood held the lead at the bottom of the leeward mark, and Mitchell was up to second and on the hunt. Law continued to sail a solid race, his 2 fourths in races 4-5 backing up his credentials as a top performer. The second beat was held in possibly the strongest winds of the weekend, or maybe the sailors were just getting tired. Still, 11 to 12 knots with a fully battened mainsail is hard work when you cannot pull the Cunningham on hard. Unbelievably, Hopwood, who had in recent years shed his nickname of the Capsize King, reverted to type and ditched in following a jibing duel with Mitchell. So Pete Mitchell took his second bullet of the weekend from Tim Law, Chris Brown, Dave Mitchell and the hapless Hopwood, who did well to recover. Overall, Mike Sims deservedly took the title of Nigel Pusinelli Championship 2016 with an impressive 1-1-4-15-3-6.
Okay, Mike Sims, congratulations, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
That's Nigel Pusinelli Trophy wrapped up for you today.
Yeah.
A bit of a dicey first race, I think.
Yeah, I didn't get a transit and there was a big line sag. And when I looked over my shoulder off the start, I was in trouble. Got to the boats to the right. But yeah, had to do 2 conservative starts after that to make sure I didn't get another discard. But
did you keep an eye on Jack in the last race? Sort of maybe lose cover on him, or just keep an eye on? Not really.
Not really. I was more concerned about don't push the line. As long as I didn't get a discard, and I was there or thereabouts, I felt I'd be okay. After yesterday, it went quite well for me.
Yep.
It was good racing, just a miserable day.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's not real Weymouth, is it?
Not really due.
No. Well, congratulations, mate. Well done. Mitchell, good day on the water?
Yeah, better than yesterday.
Yeah. Tell me about your day.
My day, what did I get? The first race, a little bit more breezy today, a little bit more stable, better start lines, they were much better. I think I ran the first race 10th, crawled back up to 3rd on the last leg, that was a good one. Next race a little bit more difficult, picked up maybe a 7 or 8. Last race was good, came out middle of the line, headed to the left hand side of the course, put in a few hitches and got myself far left of the fleet as I could, because I knew the left hand side was paying. I think I rounded 3rd, passed Tim Law on the run, and then held 2nd just behind Hoppy around the windward mark, and then Ian Hopwood, the capsized king, unfortunately.
He didn't actually capsize, did he?
He did, yeah. So yeah, so we were sort of jostling some jives towards the leeward mark. We must be about 300 yards away, and he was too busy talking, not concentrating, and rolled into windward in about 8 knots. So
nice work. I'll interview him in a minute.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, much better day than yesterday, and thanks very much for that early interview, and well done for that win.
Thanks.
Mixed day on the water?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Good.
What sort of results did you get?
First race was 5th, and then second race was top 10, but I'm pretty sure it was
Black third, yep.
And then struggled a bit in the last race. I think I was about 14th.
Right. Did you went left, didn't you, with a few?
Yeah, pretty much every race. Started left and went that way, but yeah, just downwind I was suffering, but it was not. I was just going the wrong way downwind, not getting the right shifts.
All right. Well, not a bad weekend, all in all, anyway.
It was good. Yeah.
All right. Well done.
Yeah.
With Ian Hopwood, he's just come in after his capsize in race 3. In 8 knots of wind. So unlucky because you led that. You looked good all the way up that beat, and I thought, commanding position. You did very well to hold on down because the windward leeward, and you did very well to hold on there. You went deep, didn't you, all the time, and it was paying. And then on that last, what was it? So it was the very last downwind, really, I suppose.
Yeah, obviously Pete was catching me up no end, so I was trying to push it a little bit too much, obviously, and ended up putting it in.
Swimming.
Actually do, but yeah.
Did you lose many? Did you manage that pretty quick?
I went back to 5, so it wasn't too bad really. Got it back up quick enough. So all in all, good day. The wind started filling in a little bit for us, didn't it?
It was. The rain didn't stop though, did it?
No, it's been a bit grim, hasn't it?
Anyway, well done anyway. All right.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Ian.